So, I guess the larger question that I'm asking here is, what do Democrats really want? And, I toss that question out to you, too. Is Thom Friedman right that what Democrats want is basically a continuation of the Obama presidency and the Clinton presidency? Where, we continue to pay 19% of our GDP to health insurance companies and big pharma, where every other civilized, developed country in the world is paying 9% of their GDP for health care? Do we want to continue to have young people come out of college so deeply in debt that it will be a decade or 2 decades before they can even afford to get married or have children or buy a house? Do we want to continue to live in a country where it's almost impossible for workers in a workplace to unionize? Do we want to continue to live in a country where the minimum wage right now is 1/3 of what it was in inflation-adjusted terms, 1/3 of what it was in 1968, where the standard of living of working people working at the minimum wage is 1/3 of what it was in 68? Do we want to continue to live in that country? Or do we want to live in a country where the minimum wage actually reflects a living wage? Where people have the right to unionize? Where if you get sick, it's not going to cause you to go bankrupt, and you don't have to make decisions about whether you're going to pay your rent or pay your health insurance every month? Where do we want to live in a country where people can go to college or trade school and graduate without debt? I mean, keep in mind, in every other developed country in the world, there is no student debt crisis. In Denmark, they pay you $200 a month to go to college. Every other developed country in the world, no student debt crisis. We're the only one. Every other country in the world, the number of bankruptcies caused by somebody getting sick is 0. Of the 34 OECD countries, the most developed countries, 33 of them have no medical bankruptcies. 0. In Canada, for example, and this is, frankly, I think Democrats need to start campaigning on Canada. Why is it that you can go to college in Canada and graduate without student debt? Why is it that in Canada the minimum wage is in the neighborhood of what it was in the 60s? Why is it that in Canada nobody goes broke because they get sick? Why can't we have what Canada has? Why do Republicans want to keep us on the track to be like, I don't know. I mean, I was going to say Mexico, but even in Mexico, college is relatively affordable and healthcare is inexpensive, and I mean, it's like, why do Republicans? Well, that's another question. But I guess the question, the question that I really want to ask, and although I've thrown a lot of topics out, is what is it the Democrats really want? Do we want, and again, please don't personalize this to individual candidates, because I know that there are some candidates who are basically campaigning on saying, let's just continue the Clinton and Obama presidencies. And there are other candidates who are campaigning on saying, no, let's go back to FDR and LBJ's, great New Deal and Great Society. Now, nobody's saying it out loud that way, and frankly, they should be, and frankly, the media should be. People should be, just identifying it that way.